So today I'm just going to be showing you guys how I apply my airbrush foundation using the Boleto Studio airbrush system. I will leave all of the links and where you can purchase it and coupon codes down below, and I will link my first impressions video and my friend's first impressions video so you can get two different opinions from two normal girls that are on a budget. And yeah. I'm also going to have this look in a look of the day on my blog, so I will also link that down below. And yeah. Alright, so the very first thing that I always do is put on a primer. Today I'm just going to be using the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. And I'm just going to put that all over my face. If you need to moisturize or whatever, go ahead and do that before the primer. Make sure you have your brows trimmed and whatever. And if you have piercings, get around those also. Alright, so I'm just going to use the color that I've been using. I've used about half of it, maybe a third of it. I don't know, each time I use it, it looks like a different amount, but I'd say I still have about 2/3 left. And I've had it since like I had it about mid-December, and it is like February 26th, I think. So I'm just going to be using Creme de la, and I'm gonna put I put in like 8 drops. Usually I use more than that, especially if I have acne, which you can probably see. So it is pretty much just around my chin area, which is where I usually get acne. So I turn this on the lowest possible level, and this has a continuous airflow, so you can feel it going onto your skin, but you have to press the trigger to allow product to come out. So I usually start on the most troublesome areas, just so I can get those out of the way. And I like to go closer as I do that. And you can just do like a little tiny bit like that if you have a really bad spot, and that'll cover it up really good. You can even see it anymore. But just make sure that you spray around it also, otherwise it's going to be obvious. Also, it works really well over broken capillaries. Like I have quite a bit right here and on my cheeks. Or just any veins, it covers those up pretty well. And this is like really super cold, so if you're using this in the morning, it'll definitely wake you up. so that's one thing I really like about it. And it just feels really refreshing. And it's nice that you don't have to use a brush and get your brush all dirty. Yeah. I need to add more. I think I'm just gonna add like 3 drops. Oh, I accidentally added 4. Oh well. I'm just gonna finish up my forehead. If you are gonna do under your eyes, which I don't really do just because it kind of creases. It doesn't crease, it just looks really dry under the eyes and it makes you look kind of old and whatever. So I just use a different concealer for under the eyes. But if you want to use it under your eyes, just make sure that you're closing your eye because this can get pretty cold and it'll make your eye water. Then if you have some tears, it'll kind of run down and you'll have to redo that. So just make sure you're closing your eye, otherwise your eye is going to water. At least mine definitely does. And then if you have some left over, just look over your skin to make sure that you haven't missed any areas. I know sometimes it seems like you're getting it all and you really haven't. So I think I am good. So you can see how fairly quick that was. It did take a little bit longer because I'm talking to you guys and I'm kind of showing you what I'm doing, but I think you can get the gist of just how quick it is. You can use this for a lot of other things, not just foundation. You can use it for blush and bronzer. This one came with 4 foundations and a blush and some luster drops, which I actually like. Sometimes I mix it with the foundation just to make it a little bit more dewy looking. And yeah, now I'm going to show you guys how I clean it. Okay, so I just keep this Gatorade bottle full of water on my desk so that I don't have to go to the bathroom when I want to clean this every single time. So I just take that, and then this comes with a little eyedropper. I try and fill it up as much as I can. Usually you only have to fill it to like that much. Then you should be done with the water. And make sure you have like a Kleenex or like a dirty makeup wipe or an old towel or something that you can spray this on. I'm just using an old dirty makeup wipe so I can just reuse things and not waste as much as possible. And then also make sure that you have a Q-tip. I keep some Q-tips in a drawer over here. Just a regular Q-tip. And you have to clean this after every single time that you use it, otherwise it's going to get hard and it's going to clog and it's not going to work how it's supposed to. So I just fill it up with most of that. And then I put this on a little bit higher. Then what I do is just kind of let it sit in there for a little bit, and then I cover that with my finger, pull the trigger back a little bit, and it's going to bubble. And what that's called is back bubbling. Just let that do that for a little bit. And then I'm actually going to dip some of that or dip my Q-tip into some of that and set that aside. And then I'm going to spray onto this. If you guys can see, I'm not going to pull it back all the way, just about halfway. And just spray that until it's all done spraying. Now you can hear it's done. Okay, then I'm going to shut that off. And then with the dry end of the Q-tip, I'm just going to make sure it's fairly dry in there. Make sure that none of the lint from the Q-tip is getting stuck in there or anything like that. I'm not sure if they make like lint-free Q-tips or something, but that might be something to look for. So as you can see, it's a little bit dirty in there. I'm just going to take the wet side of the Q-tip, and remember to pull the lever all the way back so that you aren't stabbing the needle with the Q-tip. So we're going to use the wet side of that, do some little circular motions, just spin it around in there, and then make sure again you're pulling out any lint or those little hairs. And then we're going to use the dry side and do the same thing, and again pulling out those little hairs. So we don't want those in there. And if you can't get them out with your fingers, try using a bobby pin or some tweezers. I know that usually works for me. And then just check in there, make sure it's pretty clean. And if you notice that it's kind of not working right, you can take this little part off. It'll just twist off, and then you will see that little needle there. Don't, poke yourself, it is pretty sharp. And just clean around those little edges if it is dirty. You shouldn't have to do this too often. You might if you're using this, like every day, or you're using it a lot of different products in there, like I don't know, say you're using foundation and you're using blush and the luster drops and eyeshadow and hair highlights and whatever. Just clean that off every so often. What you can also do is, I know they sell this special little pot. I don't remember what company sells it, but I'm sure you could find it. Just do a little Google search, or they might have it on Dinair or something. I don't know. It's on one of the popular consumer, like average consumer airbrush foundation companies makes it. So basically it's just a little pot, and it has this opening where you can set the airbrush gun inside, and it just soaks in there, and then all of the dry or hard makeup can just actually soak off and kind of melt off into the water. I can put a link down below if you're interested in that. I know that's probably something I might buy, or I'm sure you could just put it in a bowl somehow, but I don't think you want to put the whole thing in the bowl. I think it's just the tip that you want to put in there, so I'm not sure. I'll probably do a little bit more research on that and let you guys know. But if you have any other questions, just make sure to let me know, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.